Hello everyone. In today's video, we talk about the rules for multiplying and dividing fractions. So let's begin. All right, rules for multiplying fractions are as follows. Number one, change all mixed fractions into improper fractions. So just as a reminder, we're going to do an example just to make sure you guys remember the steps. We have 2 1/3, so we're going to change that into an improper fraction. Again, we do that by first multiplying and then adding. So again, 3 times 2 gives us 6, add the 1 gives us 7. So we get 7 over 3. Next, we have number 2, which tells us that we do numerator times numerator and denominator times denominator. For multiplying fractions, it's actually much easier than it is than doing adding and subtracting because we don't need common denominators here. Simply, it is just numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator. Then we just simply reduce and simplify if we can. Next, we take a look at rules for dividing. Now, just a reminder that dividing is the same as multiplying, but they're just opposites of each other. So you'll see that the steps are very similar, just with an extra step or two. So again, number one, change to improper fractions first. Number two, we're going to change the division sign into multiplication because we don't like division signs. Now, when we change it to a multiplication sign, you need to remember to reciprocate, okay? That means to flip the back or second fraction, okay? So when we change divide to multiply, you flip the fraction that's behind the division sign. Then we just come to basically a multiplication fraction times fraction. So the rule goes back to numerator times numerator divided by denominator times denominator. Again, of course, we always reduce and simplify if possible. Teachers always want the reduced form, simplest form if possible. We're going to go through these examples one by one just to make sure you guys understand all what we talked about today. So first of all, both of these, they are proper fractions, right? Because the numerator is smaller than the denominator, so we call them proper fractions. In this scenario, there's nothing to change, so I just go numerator times numerator. So we just go 2 times 5. And then denominator times denominator, 3 times 7. So that just gives us 10 over 21. And the next one, we see here that we have a proper fraction, 2 over 5, times an improper fraction, 20 over 8. Improper occurs when your numerator is bigger than your denominator. So in this situation here, you could just multiply numerator with numerator, and then denominator with denominator. And this would actually get you 40 over 40. And we know that since both are divisible by 40, the same as 1 over 1, which would just give you 1. Another way of doing it is that you could have reduced in the beginning. Now by reducing, that means you take a look at what you have in the numerators, and you take a look at what you have in the denominators, and see if anything can reduce. So for example, 2 can reduce with 8. They're both divisible by 2. If I do that, that becomes 1 and 4. The 20 can reduce with the 5, right? Both are divisible by 5, so I get 1 and 4 when I divide both by 5. Next up, I do see here that I have 1 over 1 times 4 over 4. Again, 4 over 4 we can reduce as well. Those can again be 1s when I divide both by 4. So another way of doing that, if I reduced it all in the beginning, I would end up with 1 times 1 over 1 times 1, which is still 1 over 1, which is 1. Now, a lot of times students, when they reduce, they tend to forget that everything gets reduced down to 1. They assume that it becomes 0, right? And then they get the wrong answer. So make sure that when you reduce, they only go down to 1. The next one here, we have mixed fractions. So we need to change them into improper first. So again, we're going to multiply and then add. Also multiply and then add. So the first one, 2 times 2 gives us 4, plus 1 is 5. So we'll change that to 5 over 2. And then the next one, we have 3 2/3. So we're going to go 3 times 3, which is 9, plus 2 gives us 11, so 11 over 3. You can take a look at this step here and see that there's nothing to reduce because 5 isn't divisible by 2 or 3, and 11 isn't divisible by 2 or 3, so we're just going to go back to the default rule, numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator. So we get, in this case, 55 over 6. Some teachers will require you to change that into a mixed fraction. So again, how many times does 6 go into 55? 6 goes into 55 9 times, right? And then we have 1 left over. So you should be getting 9 and 1/6 if they require you to change it into a mixed fraction form. All right, so look at division now. So again, when they have it changed into improper forms or proper forms, there's nothing for you to do there. You can just go with the steps. So first step here, I see division. I don't like division. I'm going to change it. So the front one stays. I change divide to multiply. But when I do that, I need to flip the back or second fraction. So this time I need to flip 10 over 3 into 3 over 10. At this step, I can then reduce now, or I can just do numerator times numerator over denominator times denominator, and then reduce after. It doesn't matter when you do it. You should all come to the same answer anyways. So for me, I like reducing now because it gives me smaller numbers. So 3 and 6, I reduce it to 1 and 2, 5 and 10, 1 and 2. So basically we just have 1 times 1 over 2 times 2, which gives us 1/4. And again, you can do it the other way as well. You could have gone 15 over 60 and then reduce that down to 1/4 as well. Same answer. This one here, we have mixed fractions, so we do need to change it into improper. So once again, multiply and add. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so 7 over 2. We're going to keep the division sign for now so we show our work properly and we don't skip steps. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 5 is 21, 21 over 8. Now we change divide to multiply, and we flip the back fraction, 8 over 21. We can again do the cancellation now, reduction wherever we can. 7 and 21 gives us 1 and 3. 2 and 8 gives us 1 and 4. So we get 1 times 4 over 1 times 3, which is 4 over 3, which is 1 and 1/3. All right, our last example, 2/3 divided by 4. So this is a good reminder for everyone because this is a common error that students make. 4 is same as 4 over 1. So if you ever have a whole number, just make sure it goes over 1. So here we can just go 2/3, change that to times, and then we can flip the back fraction, and then we can do the reduction of 1 and 2. So we get 1 times 1 over 3 times 2, resulting in an answer of 1 over 6. So I hope this has answered all of your questions on how do we multiply and divide fractions. Please leave a comment below if there are any other topics or questions you have. And if you liked the video, that would be great. Make sure to share and subscribe for more content. I look forward to your comments and I will be replying to all comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.